Bear Stearns, one of the 5 biggest investment banks on Wall Street, is 6 days from running out of cash. Customers are pulling their money out so fast that by Thursday night, a firm that survived the Great Depression has almost nothing left. The Federal Reserve doesn't let it die. It backs a $29 billion emergency loan and forces JP Morgan Chase to swallow the entire firm, not for what it was worth a year earlier, but for $2 a share. 6 months later, one firm was about to find out that rule had an exception. Its name was Lehman Brothers, and by the time this story is over, its 158-year history will end in 72 hours, while another firm exactly like it, right next door, gets saved. To understand how a firm survives 158 years and then dies in a weekend, you have to go back to a cotton store in Alabama that had nothing to do with Wall Street at all. Henry Lehman, a young German immigrant, opens a small dry goods store in Montgomery in 1844. He sells the ordinary supplies of a cotton tow. In 1850, his brothers and mayor join him. The store becomes Lehman Brothers. Cotton farmers often paid the lemons in cotton instead of cash. So the brothers started trading the cotton itself, and by accident, they backed into the commodities business that would define the next century and a half of their name. The firm moves to New York in the late 1850s, right as the Civil War is about to tear the cotton economy that built it in half. Lehman survives that too, pivoting from a regional cotton house into a full financial firm as the post-war South rebuilds. In 1887, it joins the New York Stock Exchange, no longer a store that trades securities on the side, but a securities firm in its own right. By 1900, Lehman moves into something new, underwriting stock offerings for growing American companies. Over the next few decades, it becomes one of the firms that helps take retail giants public: Sears, Roebuck & Company. Robert Lehman, great-nephew of founder Emanuel, takes control of the firm in 1925 and runs it for the next 44 years through the 1929 crash, the depression that gutted half of Wall Street, through World War II into the 1960s, when Lehman is formally designated a primary dealer for the US Treasury, trusted to trade government debt directly with the federal government itself. In 1969, Robert Lehman dies. In 1977, the firm merges with Kuhn, Loeb & Company. In 1984 comes the first real death of the Lehman name, though nobody called it that at the time. American Express buys the firm for $360 million and folds it into its brokerage arm, Shearson, creating Shearson Lehman Brothers. For the next decade, Lehman isn't even the name over the door, it's a division inside somebody else's company. For the next decade, Lehman isn't even the name over the door, it's a division inside somebody else's company. In 1994, American Express spins the investment banking unit loose as an independent public company again, Lehman Brothers Holdings Incorporated. What it hadn't survived yet was the man who took over that same year, and the 14 years that followed. Richard Fuld becomes CEO in 1994 and runs Lehman for the next 14 years on a single philosophy: growth, leverage, speed. Under him, Lehman transforms from a conservative bond house into one of the most aggressive mortgage traders on Wall Street. At the exact moment, the US housing market enters the biggest bubble in its history. By the mid-2000s, Lehman isn't just trading mortgage-backed securities, it's manufacturing them from the ground up. The firm buys BNC Mortgage, a subprime lender, and Aurora Loan Services, which specializes in low documentation loans, the kind that ask borrowers for almost no proof of income at all. Through those subsidiaries, Lehman originates the loans itself, packages thousands of them together into mortgage-backed securities, sells the safest slices to investors worldwide, and keeps enormous piles of the riskiest slices sitting directly on its own balance sheet, because those riskiest pieces pay the highest returns, as long as homeowners keep paying their mortgages. At its peak, Lehman is leveraged roughly third one for every dollar of the firm's own capital. It has borrowed about $30 to fund its trading book. At that ratio, a drop in asset values of just a few percentage points doesn't dent the firm. Cracks are showing. Subprime lenders start failing. By March 2008, Bear Stearns, Lehman's closest peer, just as leveraged, just as exposed, nearly collapses and survives only because JP Morgan absorbs it in that Fed-brokered fire sale. Every analyst on Wall Street asks the obvious next question. If Bear Stearns almost died from this, who's next? The market's answer is immediate. Lehman. Internally, Fuld orders a deleveraging strategy in January 2008. But instead of the slow, painful process of actually reducing risk, Lehman turns to something faster, an accounting maneuver called Repo 105.